Despite mounting allegations of corruption and a deeply disillusioned community, Mayor Tiffany Henyard continues to elevate herself, boldly proclaiming to be the living embodiment of Dr. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream. Now, this audacious self comparison is so far from the truth and offers a revealing glimpse into the mayor's lofty self perception versus the grim realities that others see. Now, she paints herself as a victim of her own success and dedication, as opposed to addressing the growing disillusionment within the community that she swore to serve. It's extremely important to talk about the cause and effect. So, how did the self proclaimed supermayor get in the position where she is the enemy of the state? That's the long and short of it, honestly. Now, as allegations mount and federal investigations loom, the insulation provided by Mayor Henyard's loyal and misguided team may only serve to expedite her downfall. Now, leaders who shun critical feedback and surround themselves with yes men or women are often blindsided by the very issues that they sought to ignore. Now, the lack of diverse perspectives and the failure to address wrongdoing can erode the legitimacy of their leadership, leaving the mayor vulnerable to both legal repercussions and public outrage. This is going to be extremely interesting, guys. So stick around. I want to talk about the Angela Yee interview with Mayor Henyard, and you'll see the explosive reasons why. Now, the answer is honestly simple yet profound. And to understand the present turmoil, we must revisit the past proclamations. Now, Mayor Henyard's self aggrandizing statements in the interview with Angela Yee provide a stark contrast to the growing disillusionment within the community that she swore to serve. They highlight the grandiose self perception that now clashes with the harsh realities of her leadership. And just a quick sidebar, if this is your first time tuning in to Southern Confidential, welcome. And to everyone else, welcome back. And please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Now, back to our story. Now, it's my opinion that in times of crises, reflecting on pivotal moments can help us to unravel the complexities of current events. In other words, what's going on right now. The Angela Yee interview encapsulates Henyard's ambitious vision, and then it inflated her self-ego. By visiting the interview, we can aim to dissect the narrative that Mayor Henyard has woven around herself, and then understand how the dream she claimed to embody has unraveled into a nightmare. I actually watched the Angela Yee interview with Mayor Henyard about 3 or 4 times, and something resonated with me about the mayor. She seems to always surround herself with people who throw soft balls at her instead of hard curveballs that can force her to do an introspective look at herself and then the reality of what is really happening in her world versus her continual exploration of finding a lie to stand upon. I've seen leaders like this before that isolate themselves from the honest counsel and dissenting voices. In other words, handpicking team members who aren't really a part of the team, but robots who have no drum of their own to dance to. The consequences of such circles are often dire. The absence of accountability fosters an environment where unethical behavior can flourish, ultimately leading to a breakdown in trust between the leader and the community. Now, the very foundation of good governance, transparency, accountability, and integrity will become compromised. Now, I'm going to get to the interview, guys, but just be patient for a moment while we just review the administration for the mayor. You know, the lacks of Keith Freeman, her front man, who always seems to absorb any criticism that the mayor may receive. And with a questionable history of his own, he's the master of throwing softballs to the mayor. If there's anyone in her administration who should step up to direct the mayor's wayward practices, it's Freeman. Yet he appears to remain submissive almost to the mayor in spite of troubles of his own. Then there's Trustee Stanley Brown. I haven't heard him say more than 10 words. How does that work exactly? He's been around the mayor for quite some time and even appeared in her Good Burger horrible commercial back in the day before she was the mayor. And in other words, his voice doesn't garner any attention when he speaks. That's just my opinion. Then there's Keith Price. Honestly, who he is or what he does, even, I don't know, besides running interference for her during critical moments when the residents are on the verge of snapping or flipping their wigs. Maybe y'all can tell me what Mr. Price does. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know what he does. Of course, then there's the lovely police chief, Louis Lacey, Mr. America himself. Not. Now, Louis Lacey is known for being Henyard's lapdog and a member of her police detail, making tons of money on overtime. You guys remember, among allegations of police corruption, excessive force, and God knows what else. And we know he was involved in the alleged cheating scandal within the police department, promoting officers to sergeants who had not actually made a passing score on the exam. And that's just to name a few. And let's not forget Mr. Wonderful, the ex-Chicago advocate Andrew Holmes, who apparently has a propensity to touch parts that are typically off limits to people that's not in an agreed upon relationships, all while acting in the capacity of a compassionate and caring victims advocate. Allegedly. So all I'm saying, guys, is these are all alleged for the record, first of all. But there are others, of course, and we could go on to name many other people. The point is that Mayor Henyard may not be the sharpest tool in the toolbox, but she is smart like a fox. Smart enough to surround herself with henchmen who have been known to exact her fury and revenge on those who dare to cross her, allegedly. And guys, for the record, now, whether or not you are or aren't a Candace Owens fan, let's set that aside for a moment. Now, I could never see Mayor Tiffany Henyard accepting an invitation to sit down and talk to Candace Owens about the current state of affairs of the village or the township. It simply won't happen. Why? You know why. There won't be any softballs or safe space to hide from the realities that the mayor knows are dark and grim. So, guys, I've been looking into the case with Mayor Henyard for months, right? As we all have, I'm sure. But this is my opinion of why Mayor Henyard chose to sit down with Angela Yee for an interview. It does speak volumes, guys. Now, faced with mounting allegations of corruption and a growing disillusioned community, Mayor Henyard chose a platform where she could control the narrative and reinforce her self-styled image as the supermayor. But why Angela Yee and not another journalist? You know why. Because of the challenge or the lack thereof. I'm going to tell you exactly why she chose the Angela Yee platform. It's a favorable platform for the mayor. You know, Angela is known for her engaging and often celebrity focused interviews. So she provided Henyard with a platform that emphasized personality and charisma over hard hitting investigative journalism, right? That's it, and that's all. This setting allowed Mayor Henyard to present herself in a favorable light, focusing in on her self proclaimed achievements and vision rather than the controversy surrounding her administration. That's number one. Number two, we all know that Mayor Henyard loves to control the narrative, and she's keenly aware of the power of media. Now, she sought out an interviewer who would likely be receptive to her narrative, and Angela Yee, with her reputation for conducting more amicable and less confrontational interviews, was seen as a safe choice. Now, this ensured that the mayor could highlight her version of events without facing aggressive scrutiny or challenging follow up questions. And then the third reason is that she was able to avoid the tough questions. And you guys know this, journalists with a background in political reporting or investigative journalism, like a Candace Owens, would have delved deeper into the allegations against Mayor Henyard, asking her the tough, uncomfortable questions that would undermine her carefully crafted image. Now, by choosing Angela Yee, Mayor Henyard circumvented this risk, opting instead for an environment where difficult questions about her alleged misconduct were less likely to surface. And here's another reason. Number four, public perception. Mayor Henyard's decision to engage with the interviewer, like a Angela Yee, also served to boost her public profile. The interview allowed her to reach a broader audience and project an image of confidence and control despite the swirling controversies. This strategic move aimed to garner sympathy and support from those who might not fully be aware of the extent of the allegations against the mayor. And then lastly, number five, she was able to reinforce her self image. So, by participating in an interview with someone who might be more accommodating to her claims, Mayor Henyard could continue to assert her self image as the embodiment of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream. This assertion, while controversial, was less likely to be contested in a setting where the interviewer was more inclined to listen and engage rather than challenge and critique. Now, let me make this clear. I have nothing against Angela Yee. I actually enjoy a lot of her interviews. I just don't believe this was the right setting to get the information that we needed to see as the public, or perhaps Angela, for some reason, took it easy on her. I'm not sure. But in essence, Mayor Henyard's choice to interview with Angela was a calculated move to maintain control over her public persona and narrative. It was a bid to reinforce her image as a visionary leader while avoiding the intense scrutiny and probing questions that a more investigative journalist would have undoubtedly bring. Now, this decision underscores the broader strategy of managing public perception amidst a backdrop of growing allegations and community dissatisfaction. I'll say this, guys. A manipulative and narcissistic person knows how to work the room. They know how to identify weaker personalities, people that need to be affirmed in some way. They understand the personalities of people that can be controlled. And so the long and short of this complex web of allegations that range from corruption to other egregious acts continues to breathe. In the end, a leader who stifles truth and surrounds themselves with silence in the face of corruption cannot sustain their position. The voices of the people will rise, demanding accountability and justice, and the dream of a united, thriving Dalton and Thornton Township will remain unfulfilled until integrity is restored at the helm. So, guys, thank you for tuning in to Southern Confidential. And for more on this developing story and all things true crime, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I will see you on the next video.